All right, here's the next note in algebra. This is calculating simple interest. Like if you took money, put in the bank, and they give you a certain interest rate, how much would you earn over a certain amount of time? Okay, it has a basic equation. Interest, I, equals principal P times rate R times time T. And here it's written out. Now, because this is math, this same equation can help you figure out any of these letters. Usually principal is not as important, but you could solve for principal. But interest is this. So if you want to figure it out, if you want to figure out how much interest you want to make and what time that would take, you could like move this thing around. And like let's say we want to do time. So if we want to divide by both sides by PR, right? So we do the same thing to both sides. That's fine. And then this would be this now equation, because these cancel out. Interest over principal times the rate equals the time. So that's one thing we can solve for. So there's the one for time. And then if we wanted to do the rate, do the same equation. I equals PRT. We could then solve for, if we want to do the rate, we do principal divided by time on both sides. Go to cancel. So interest divided by principal and the time will tell us the rate that we would be charged. Okay, so initially, usually you're just going to use I equals P times R times time, right? So initially, really, if you put money in the bank, you just want to know the interest you're going to make if you put a principal, a certain amount of money at a certain rate over this time, how much interest will I make? This one, though, could be, well, if I put this much principal at this rate and I want to receive a certain amount of interest, how long would that take? You can figure that out. If you also want to figure out the rate that you'll have to get to make a certain amount of interest, because you know you're going to start with the principal and you want to do it over a certain amount of time, say 3 years, and you know the interest you want to make, you can figure out, well, what's the rate I need to make in order to make the principal that I invest over this amount of time result in this much interest. So these are really the three equations. The main one you're going to use, though, is this, but you can rearrange it. Okay, so then if we look at a few problems, and so we have this problem here. So if you deposit $500 at a rate of 6% for 2 years, how much interest will you make? So we're going to use this equation. I equals P RT, and then we plug in what we know. So $500, that's your principal. So I equals 500. And then at a rate of 6%. Now you're not going to plug 6 in here because this is a percent. So it's really 6 over 100. It's a percent. You have 2 zeros, so this becomes 0.06. So whatever their interest rate is, like if it's 7%, it's 0.07. If it's 10%, then it is 0.1. But it's really the percent divided by 100. And you could put it either way. You could put it 0.06 if you wanted to. You could also do 6 over 100. Makes it a little bit harder, but you could do that. It'd be the same. But we're just going to do 0.06. Okay, so 0.06, that's our rate, interest rate. Okay. And then the time is 2 years. So then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do 500 times 0.06. So we go 0, 0, and then that's 30. Okay, now we could do the zeros through again, but we don't need to because it's just going to be zeros. So then we just do this. We know we have 2 decimal places. That's going to be $30. It's 30. And then we're going to times that by 2. That gives us $60, which is pretty good over 2 years. So at this rate of 6%, if you invest $500, you could earn $60 in 2 years, which is pretty good. Okay, so that's that one. Let's look at another problem. Okay, so we have this one. So find the principal you would have to earn or have to invest to earn $900 of interest with a rate of 7.5% in 1 year. So if you made $900 of interest at a rate of 7.5% in 1 year, what would your principal, how much would you have to start with or invest to earn this? So we're going to use this. This is the equation. I equals P RT, right? The thing we want to know is principal. So the equation we end up with is I divided by P and, no, not P, RT equals P. So then we plug in for this. So the interest we earn is 900. The rate is 0.075. And it's going to be 1 year. So the 1 just really cancels. It's not important. So really, we're going to divide 900 by 0.05. So 900 times 0.05. You can use a calculator for this. I'm just showing you this mathematics stuff here, arithmetic. Okay, so we can't divide a number by 0.05, so we have to make this into a number without a decimal. We move the decimal 1, 2, 3, it becomes 75. If we move this one 3, we have to move this one through. Just going to add 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so 75 now goes into 91 time. This should even out here eventually pretty quick. Yep, 1, 5. Bring the 0 down. It's going to be 2. It's 150. That's going to be a 0. The rest of these are going to be zeros. 0, 0, 0. So the answer is 12,000. Should be the amount we'll have to start with if we invest $12,000 at an interest rate of 7.5% in 1 year. We'll earn $900 of interest. Okay, so that's kind of how these two work. You could figure out the rate as well, but I just want you to, these are the two main ones you have to do. I don't think there is a rate one. There is one. Rate number 6, you try that, because really if you just want to do rate, you're just going to move things around the same way. Rate's going to remain over here. It's going to be interest divided by principal and time. So try these out. The ones I want you to do are questions 1 through 6 all. Then turn them into me. This is on page 103. Get these answers. You can even send me the answers in an email from these and from the last unit as well. Talk to you soon.